Fear is perhaps of the most baffling inclination you can incite. It seems like you are trapped in an endless pattern of wretchedness and bitterness. Remember this: you are strong and you are an overcomer. Here, you are more than a conqueror. Gain from your fear and continue on. Move toward joy and your future achievement. Be appreciative for what you have. Try not to underestimate things. Value the easily overlooked details. Remain positive and relinquish the past. You can overcome your fears, gain from your missteps, and continue on. So don't allow your fears to keep you away from the existence you need. For what reason do you feel fear? I don't know. But I know you have the strength to overcome. You know the inclination. You go with a choice, and afterward, all of a sudden, you're feeling fearful. Perhaps you made a misstep somewhere along the way, or you let a conflict transform into a battle with your loved one. Fear is a strong inclination, and it can keep us away from settling on the most ideal choices conceivable. Be that as it may, there's uplifting news. You can conquer your fears. Perceive that fear is an inclination, not a reality. At the point when you feel fearful, you will generally accept that our choice was awful, and that you ought to have accomplished something different. Yet, that is not generally the situation. Here and there, fear is basically an inclination, a sign that something is irritating us. Relinquish the past. At the point when you're afraid of something you've done, it tends to be enticing to continue to grip to the past. Yet, that is not useful 100% of the time. All things being equal, we ought to zero in on the present and future. Continue on. It's vital that fear won't change the past, and it won't improve the future at all. In all things considered, it's ideal to zero in on the present and continue on. What are the normal reasons for fear? There are many motivations behind why individuals fear things. Perhaps you pursued a choice without thoroughly considering it. You didn't require the investment to relish the experience, or you didn't convey your sentiments plainly. Anything that the reason might be, figuring out how to conquer fear is significant. It can assist you with continuing on from the past, discover an authentic sense of reconciliation in the present, and pursue better choices later on. Confront your feelings of trepidation. Assuming something is causing you to be doubtful, there is a decent opportunity that it's something you're apprehensive about. On the off chance that you're not happy with it, it's most likely not going to work out. Confront your feelings of trepidation head-on and figure out how to overcome them. Discussing your second thoughts can be soothing. It can assist you with managing them, gain from them, and continue on. Give yourself time. Try not to hope to conquer fears for the time being. It might require investment, yet with persistence and exertion, you'll be en route to a superior future. The greatest obstacle to defeat with regards to continuing on is disappointment. Fear is a weight we heft around with us that can keep us from making moves that might prompt bliss later on. 1. Acknowledge that fear exists. 2. Perceive that fear can be something to be thankful for. 3. Comprehend that fears can propel us to change our way of behaving. 4. Relinquish the past and embrace current circumstances. By making these strides, you can gain from our slip-ups, continue on, and make a superior future. Fear is a strong inclination and can adversely affect our lives. In any case, you can gain from our missteps and continue on. At the point when you commit an error, don't whip yourself. All things being equal, gain from it and use it for your potential benefit. For instance, in the event that you fear a choice you made, ponder why you pursued the choice and what you might have done any other way. Then, take the illustrations you learned and apply them to the following circumstance. It means a lot to not zero in on the negative parts of your slip-ups. For instance, assuming that you made a slip-up and lost cash, don't harp on the way that you lost cash. All things being equal, contemplate how you might keep this from occurring from here on out. How might we continue on from our second thoughts? Fear is a typical feeling that a large number of us experience at some time. It can go from the little things throughout everyday life, for example, not booking that trip you generally needed, to the greater things, for example, not wedding the individual we cherished. Regardless of your fear, the key is to gain from it and continue on. I realize this might not be exactly simple or easy, yet it's perhaps of the main thing we can do to work on our lives. The initial step is to recognize that you have fear. Then, at that point, we should be straightforward with ourselves about what those second thoughts are. When we understand what they are, we want to sort out a method for managing them. This might include conversing with companions, recording our contemplations, or in any event, looking for proficient assistance. There are no ensures that we'll at no point ever experience fears in the future. Yet by finding opportunity to gain from our missteps, we can ideally stay away from them later on. It's difficult to continue on from something that we fear. Whether it was a choice we made or something that has happened to us, fear can prevent us from advancing. The greatest misstep you can make while attempting to overcome fear is to choose not to move on. Choosing not to move on will just cause you to feel more fears, and you'll not be able to continue on. What you want to do is center around what's to come. At the point when you center on the future, you'll have the option to see every one of the potential outcomes that could emerge out of your fear. You'll likewise have the option to gain from your errors and ensure that they don't reoccur. At the point when you're ready to continue on from your fears, you'll have the option to make every second count and partake in each second. In this way, make it a point to deal with your fear directly and gain from it. Only be strong and of a good courage. The Lord is with you.